Hello everybody, today I'm going to be giving the Paslode 16 gauge finish nailer a review. We're going to be talking about its efficiency, its durability, and its price. I'm not only going to be answering those questions, but we are going to put it into action at the end of this video with a project. So stay tuned, here we go. Your average pneumatic nailer usually costs $90 to $100, and that does not include the hose that you're going to need for it, the air compressor, or the extension cord to get around with. Altogether, it costs about $300 to get you going with a pneumatic. Now this gun at Home Depot costs $3.99. I'll have a link down in the description. The battery, the nailer, and a battery charger. This gun is not solely battery powered. You do need to buy gas canisters, which come in a 2-pack for $20 at Home Depot. And you'll have to change out these gas canisters about every 1,200 shots. Carpenters usually like to treat their air nailers like absolute garbage. With this gun, you guys will have to change your ways because it is not made out of that aluminum stuff that the regular pneumatic nailer would be made out of. It is durable in the sense that it will shoot up to 150,000 shots in its lifetime, and it's super consistent when it does shoot. It doesn't jam up like your average pneumatic nailer would. Now, the handle is super comfortable because it is lightweight. It weighs in at about only 4.5 pounds, which is really nice when you're carrying it around. It also has a belt hook, which it makes it super nice and easy to carry it around with you. Now you don't have your hands full all the time. It also comes with a no-mar tip, which will make sure that you don't scruff up your trim or whatever you're working on. This Paslode gun, unlike your average pneumatic nailer, is super versatile, able to do all sorts of things. For finish work, we use it for trim, door and window moldings, decorative trim, anything that you can possibly think of that you need a small trim nail in, you can use this gun for it. It's really nice not having to carry around an air compressor and a hose and an extension cord everywhere. You're not tripping on anything. It's not a hazard because it's one tool, super compact, weighing less than 5 pounds. It is really nice to be able to take it places and not have to have a bunch of other accessories that have to go along with it. Me and my dad use it for all sorts of finish work stuff. We use it throughout the entire job when it comes to finish work. So we use it for over half the job. 50% of the job is finished. So finishing up, we use this gun constantly. We're running through nails through this thing all the time, and it's a super nice gun to have for how versatile it is. Now I've given my quick review on this gun. We are not sponsored in any way, by the way, by Paslode, but we did want to talk about it because we use it so often, and we think that it really is kind of a new stage of construction in the way that we aren't really relying on that air pneumatic nailer. So now that I've reviewed it, we're going to be doing a project with it. We're going to be using it to put up some shiplap on a hood vent that we actually sketched up and made, and we put it up in the Woodland lake house, and now we are putting our finishing touches on it by putting shiplap and trim around that shiplap on it. So let's go check that out. Alright, so what we're going to do for this hood vent is we're going to build a box, which I've already kind of built a skeleton of a box, and with this skeleton I will then place some nickel gap or some shiplap type product around it all the way up to the ceiling. Rather than giving a big expensive hood vent, we're going to make one and make it look expensive. How's that?
I like that.
We're not really spending a lot of money on this thing, but it's going to look pretty cool. So we're going to take this skeleton, we're going to hold it up there, we're going to attach it to the walls. I already have done some measuring, coming 36 inches off of the corner. Will be the very edge, the finished edge of the hood vent, and then another 30 inches for the other side would be also the finished edge. Because this is the skeleton, we actually have to bump it in by 3/4 of an inch because that's how thick our nickel gap is. So we're going to go ahead and get this placed on the wall. And I'm pretty excited. This is the first time we've ever done this.
So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and attach the very top onto the back wall. And then I also threw in a cross member on the front edge where we'll go up to the ceiling and actually attach it to the ceiling as well. So that's pretty big. When you're talking about a 10-foot wall and then you have vaulted ceilings, it's kind of hard to get a hood vent that is like a focal point or something that's like super designer and have it all come together correctly when you have that vaulted ceiling. So that's why we opted to do this as opposed to the more expensive option. Now, again, this is not expensive, but it's not cheap either. It's not free. There was components to it. I had to get all this 1x4. I designed this up on SketchUp. We saw a picture of it on Pinterest, I think. I showed the client. They gave me the green light. So I put a 1/2-inch piece of plywood down here. This opening here is the exact dimension of the hood vent that'll actually slide up in, and they'll have some screws to keep it in place. And this wire here will become a receptacle up inside. That'll get plugged in, and everything will have 2 lights here and a recirculating fan. So we're not going up and out like a lot of the exhaust fans. This has the option to do just some recirculation, so that's what we opted to do. Strongest shape there ever was.
Mm-hmm.
Other than an egg.
An egg?
You ever try to break an egg? Like,
with just your one hand, like a fist?
Not sideways, but top to bottom.
Oh, no. Happy?
I'm happy. Happy if you're happy.
Only matters if the client's happy.
Well, no, it also matters if I'm happy.
Well, if you're happy, usually the client's happy.
That's true. Okay, last side.
Okay.
Let's get it done.
My final review of this gun is that it is super versatile, super easy to use, and I would recommend it to any carpenter. If you are a DIYer, if you are a full-time carpenter, if you are a finish carpenter, if you are a cabinet maker, whatever you may be, I would recommend it to anybody who is doing something with wood. Because it is just so... It's just really nice to have, not to have to carry around an air compressor and a hose and all that mess. This thing is so worth the $400 that you're going to spend on the battery and the nailer. And the only downside is that it does not run off a battery solely, and you do have to buy the gas, and that's a more often purchase. But at the end of the day, I think it is worth it because of how versatile it is and how lightweight, compact, and easy it is to use. So we appreciate you guys watching this video. If you guys haven't watched the Woodland Lake House, go check those videos out. We'll have a link in the description, and at the end of this video, you'll see a little card somewhere on the screen that will show you the playlist for the Woodland Lake House. Also, go check out the shed build, which is actually right behind your camera. We also will put that playlist on one of these cards and a link in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.